Good evening, and welcome to the Outpost Frequencies live stream, brought to you by the lastmovieoutpost.com for all of our movie news, reviews, and everything cool about films. Sorry I was missing last week, but I'm back now. I am George Lucas, and with us, as always, is Sean.
Hello.
And Drunken Yoda.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Three Gray Beards Yelling at Clouds. That's let's see what inane, banal bullshit we could complain about for another 2 hours, okay?
Oh, is it really 2 hours? My goodness. Right. I need to get myself more mentally prepared than that. It's been quite a slow news week, really, hasn't it? Because it's been, we're sort of coming now, rounding up to the end of the year. I know one of the guys at Last Movie Outpost is putting together our top 5 movies of this year, and we won't talk about them now. I think we're going to talk about them in a week or so. But it's been just not a great year, really. The only two sort of movies that we haven't seen coming out this year is going to be The Matrix and Spider-Man. Yeah. Are you guys holding out any hope for those two?
No, I mean the Spider-Man one maybe. That's a soft maybe, but Matrix, no, I don't have any.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much let's wait and see. I mean, I would not be surprised if they're good. The trailers look reasonably good. I would not be surprised if they sucked. Trailers have fooled me before, so I don't really have I guess I don't really have a huge dog in this fight as far as I'm not planting a flag in the ground saying this is going to suck. It's just it is what it is.
I mean, I'm finding that my expectations are always so low, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised.
It's always a nice way to go through it, yeah.
I just wish the new Matrix movie was made by the Wachowski brothers instead of the sisters. I get
it's
a
actually
feeling like
just the one sister.
The brothers, I think, probably would do a better job. But, we'll see if the sisters have any talent.
Look, man, they were weird as guys. They're weird as girls. I don't think it really affects it one way or the other.
Well, what do you mean?
They were always bizarre guys.
They were always
Wait, you're telling me this is the same people?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, well. It was the Wachowski brothers, but now it's Lana Wachowski, however you say it. So, but yeah, now it's kind of not the Wachowski brothers. It's just the sister. Because she's transitioned.
Well, I have to go see it now. I have to support.
Yes. It's pronounced was a he.
Was a he.
Was a he ski, yeah. It is weird because I must admit I think I actually watched The Matrix in the last couple of weeks, and watching it again, I was kind of annoyed I missed last week's thing about perfect movies because I must admit I didn't watch all of it, but The Matrix is almost a perfect movie, but there are certain things in there that I think are just wrong, and they just irk me. And don't get me wrong.
Tell what might you think is imperfect about?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
We'll put you on your one cam. Tell the world.
There are certain shots and certain pacing that just doesn't work. But the biggest bugbear for me was the characters of, I can't even think of their names, APOC and Switch, who was the blonde woman, and I'm going to say like a Maori-looking guy. I thought he was a Asian guy. Those two, I particularly Switch, the woman. I thought she was just awful, and every line she delivered.
They were red shirts. That was their purpose.
But they really took me out of the movie. I think the rest of the cast worked well. The kid who invented the Red Lady and that kind of thing, he worked quite well, and Dozer and Tank and everybody else. But just those two characters, the APOC and Switch, just every time they're on screen, my brain just immediately comes out of the movie.
Was it one of you guys telling me, or maybe I read it on the site itself, that the blonde-headed chick in the movie lore originally was supposed to be a was supposed to be a man in the one or the other? I forget, but
I think that was when we were talking about it, Sean. But yeah, she switched. That's the you get it.
Oh, very clever.
That's her name. And but it's 1999, so nobody was ready for that yet. I actually think it would have been interesting because it would have been like, I mean, I know there's a lot of nerd guys out there that play as women in like World of Warcraft and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just a thing, you know. So
Yeah.
if they had made it a guy playing a woman in the Matrix, I think that would have been interesting. I think it would have showed how the Matrix can be, you know, once you get to that point that you understand what it is, then you can change what you want within it, and even change yourself.
Because they call it residual self-image, don't they, of the way you dress?
You know,
and obviously,
a real interesting way, if they would have took it, would have been Switch was a man in real life.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be.
But plugged into the Matrix before he was taken out, he was a man in the Matrix. But then once he's out with the the crew, and then could choose whatever he wanted to be when they plugged him back in, then he was a woman. Now that would have been pretty.
Well, let's turn it around. Maybe he was always that woman in the Matrix, and when they unplugged him, he sat up. He's like this middle. He looks like me, this fat dad bod with a beard. Like, oh God, it's like I knew it. I was always a woman trapped in a man's body.
It's kind of a shame, actually. Somebody should edit together a scene in the Matrix, so when they get plugged in, they comes up with like the Skyrim avatar choosing screen, sort of like Khajiit for Red North and all this kind of stuff, and then sort of like, oh, human woman, yes, lovely.
There's this YouTube channel. If you guys haven't watched it yet, it's really great. It's called Viva La Dirt League, and it's this comedy guys in New Zealand, and they make they have a various different shows, and all the shows are just basically little 2 to 5 minute skits. One of the shows is about like working in a pseudo Best Buy type place. But one of the shows is called Epic NPC Man. And the way that works is that it's like it's a game that's an amalgam of all those games that you've played in a MMORPG. From Warcraft to Skyrim to World of Warcraft. I forget what they called it, but it had a fake name. And they play like the NPC characters in this game, and having to deal with, what all these people are always like. Because like when somebody comes up to talk to them, it's like, "Hello, greetings, adventurer." And the adventurer goes, "Skip," and they're like, "Oh, okay, I'll," And at one point, one of them runs across somebody that's just floating in the woods, And their face keeps changing, and their body keeps changing. At one point, they come up, and they put a beautiful woman just floating there, and he's like, "Oh, that's nice." And then they put a guy's face on. He's like, "Ah!" It must be hell for these poor guys in the video game world to deal with what you're saying. I can't imagine what would happen in the Matrix.
It's kind of a shame they didn't do that in Free Guy.
Yeah. Well, it kind of did with the British filtering and things like that.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, like this one fat putz looks like what's his name from Magic Mike, Channing Tatum.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there is a little bit of that going on. So one guy's dressed up as a pink bunny, but yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. So I'm just quickly browsing through the rest of the news here. Funny enough, but Paul Verhoeven come and reunites with a RoboCop writer. It's weird because I watched RoboCop as well quite recently, and I'd forgotten what a fantastically classic movie that is.
I don't know if we mentioned that, but that's definitely a perfect movie. Yeah,
that is definitely.
And what I'm very disappointed about is that has become a apparently a blueprint for today's corporations. That was not supposed to be a roadmap, you assholes.
Yeah. It's in the same way Idiocracy is not a documentary.
Yeah. It was a warning, you dumb schmucks.
It was very good watching that again. Because like I say, I haven't seen that for an awfully long time. No, because Paul Verhoeven's obviously got his new one coming out, which is called, it begins with B, doesn't it? I can't think of it off the top of my head now, but it's this. Basically, it's kind of a lesbian nun story.
Oh yes, that old chestnut.
The man who brought you Showgirls.
Yeah.
Clearly, this will be done with class and dignity.
There we go. Yeah. Benedetta. It's called.
I've already got a movie called Nude Nuns with Big Guns. What could this offer me?
Well, you see, on the one hand, you've obviously got the quite strong religious connotation to it that's going to be underplaying the main narrative of the story and maybe offending a few other people. But on the other hand, it's lube.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm just afraid any movie from him nowadays is going to be, full on political, like Orange Man bad. That it just seems like he seems like the type that would do that anyway.
Well, he's always done that though, hasn't he? I mean, really, that's been his MO. I mean, that's what RoboCop was really all about. It was basically saying we hate Reagan America.
But it was, but it was. I think it was subtle enough to where you could kind of overlook it. You could
I mean, I think there was some things there about corporations and stuff that I probably 10, 15 years ago would have rolled my eyes at. That now I'm looking at going, between Facebook and all the information companies. Wait, yeah, okay. Now I'm seeing it.
You know what the irony of all that is that these guys back then, they did that. Reagan bad, and they pictured this future, even They Live, RoboCop, and it never once crossed their mind that it would be the guys on their end of the political spectrum that would cause all this stuff to come to be.
Or maybe it did. Maybe it was. Yeah. Maybe it was. This is what we're hoping, guys, and we want to be on the right side of it.
Yeah,
I keep thinking now. We're going to wait for the announcement for Mark Zuckerberg to say that he's moving into law enforcement. And it's like, build an Ed 209, build an Ed 209, build an Ed 209.
He kind of already is, though. Facebook,
It's going that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll be Amazon that does it. They're already into drones, so it'll be a flying Ed 209, Pick up your package. You have 12 seconds to comply.
I need your signature.
Yeah. Give me your signature. You have 10 seconds to comply. Jesus Christ!
You can not return this item.
The little pin that you sign for your credit card don't work, and you're trying, and then you try your finger.
I'm out of ink. Oh God! Non-compliant.
No, that's. I'm sorry. That's just utterly ludicrous thinking. He wouldn't obviously kill his customers. He just wants them, just wants to scare them, not kill them.
Bunch of Nerf darts come out. Boom, I don't know. Oh, you got me. That's great. Bezos. Da.
Boom. Anyway, my business is out of my small company's just gone out of business because of him. But what are you going to do?
That Bezos. Wah, wah. Yeah, no, I don't know if this took a funny turn or a dark turn. It's kind of hard to tell.
Right. On the inside, we're crying.
Yeah, that's it. We live in a dystopia. Oh
no. I'm just quickly looking through. Can we mention the Star Wars game that might be coming out? Are we going to talk about that one or not?
Let's get started.
Clearly, I have not. So I'm still out of the loop on a lot of things. I'm hoping that I flunked my test.
Oh man!
Oh no! Really? Oh.
Yeah, I got to take it again in 2 weeks, and
it's good. It's good though if you fail your HIV positive test though. So
it is, but that's not the one I'm talking about. That one I passed.
Negative
colors.
Negative is good.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That one. Big pass with flying colors. Positive all the way, baby.
Just to interrupt though, I did see a great little meme going around, and they said, "Oh, I haven't tested positive for COVID, but above it is kind of like syphilis, worms."
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is all those that quagmire of STDs that I got pretty much kills COVID on site. So there's always an upside. Nature finds a way.
Yeah. Right. So. Yes, you flunked your test.
I flunked my test. I did. I know what I did wrong. I studied some of the wrong material, and so when I got there, like my eyes got as big as dinner plates, and then I heard Morgan Freeman like in the background going, "And that's when Yoda knew he fucked up." So I've got 2 weeks. I found what I need to study. I found what I'm pretty sure I could get it done in 2 weeks, and I was. With the holidays and everything, I'm planning to get back into the swing of things come after the first of the year. Start getting these videos back out again. So, but I feel pretty stupid about that.
Let me ask you this: were you naked when you took the test? Because if you were, it might have just been a dream.
Yeah.
It was not a dream, and yet I was. So,
Well, I think I know the
I'll
real
let
reason.
you connect the dots from there, sir.
I must admit-
Let's just say my bail hearing is later today.
Hey guys, it's me again. I need bail money.
Hey, wonder why
I'm-
LMO never makes any money.
What is it this time?
God damn it. What is going on, Yoda? They don't call me Drunken Yoda for nothing.
that tax deduction? Can you write that off as like a tax deduction for expenses, though?
Yeah. I must admit, I'm actually in the same boat with Yoda. That just going through
jail?
a few bits. No, not that bad.
Sexual offender, sex offender list.
No, I'm married, so it's kind of the same thing. But
He's there knocking door to door. Excuse me, sir. I must tell you by court order that I am a
No, we don't do that in the UK.
Well,
is that better or worse?
It's much more fun to guess.
Yeah. There's so many. It would just take too much time.
But no, as in the same boat as in I am looking hopefully towards the new year to be able to get a bit more settled with a few things. I've been looking at houses because I need to move. But I was just been explaining that when I do move, I should hopefully be getting a nice office with film memorabilia all around me. So that I am getting
a little bit like this thing back here.
You're
gonna make it look nice, like what I did. The effort I put in for you, the ones of viewers out there.
So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to actually getting a new little set and everything else, and an office where I can actually sit and work. Because at the moment I sit on the floor at a coffee table because my place is so small. So actually having like a chair will be like amazing.
Oh no, I kind of like that you look so homey there. You look like you just sat down. You just got back from work. You just got done kicking the cat or smacking the kids around, and you're just ready to sit down and gripe about something dumb that doesn't matter, like movies.
Next week, I shall come in my smoking jacket and pipe.
Welcome to Masterpiece Theater.
Yes. So for this Masterpiece Theater, I watched Dumb and Dumber. An absolutely delightful movie which had merry japes all the way through.
That reminds me. Have you seen that guy on? He's a YouTuber. What's it called? Voxus Productions Smack Talk, where he uses that little professor puppet. He's got I have seen him, but yeah, he's a very funny guy.
You'll have to get me a link. I've never seen.
Yeah, I'll send you one. Yeah, I'll do that after the show. You'll like it quite a bit. He's very clever, real funny guy.
Okay, so like I say, movie news has been quite quiet. Like I say, because the end of the year is coming, and the only things to look forward to at the moment is the Book of Boba Fett and Cobra Kai, and then Matrix and Spider-Man, and that's kind of the year done. And then I think, like I say, maybe next week or the week after, we'll have a good discussion of what have been our favorite things.
Which one's coming out next week, George? Is it?
I couldn't tell you. I've kind of
or
not
Matrix.
been...
I don't know.
Am I the only one going to see Licorice Pizza on Christmas Day?
No, actually, Sean, I do want to see that. I haven't, because I like Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, me too.
For the most part, some of his movies are hit and miss, but when they're hit, they really hit.
I do like PTA, but I have found watching all the trailers of that movie, I think it's a very American movie that hits with the American nostalgia. And for me, I'll probably watch it and like it, but I've seen people saying, "Oh, it reminds me of when I was younger" and everything else. Nothing about that movie hits me in that way.
Well, yeah, it's the No Limeys Allowed Club.
Yeah. If you guys live in those shithole third world countries that Trump talked about, so if
you moved here, you could have a slightly bigger house.
Well, I will cop to that. We definitely have no class in our movies, but at least they're fun. You don't have those English movies, a room with a view,
Yeah, I was just
People
trying to
just
think
talk
of
endlessly about.
We had the
in
Carry
English
On films
accents.
and the Monty Python films. They're funny.
You know what? I have no argument for that. You win the point, sir. We'll move on to the next round.
But yeah, so I completely forgot to mention them because, like I say, because it holds no value for me. But Licorice Pizza is out before the end of the year as well. So there may be 3 films there which might alter our top 5, top 10s.
Yep. So we got Cobra Kai, we got Book of Boba Fett, Spider-Man, The Matrix, maybe Licorice Pizza, and then we can just welcome Oblivion because I don't see anything else coming next year that just sweet release. I think at that point,
another COVID variant. I'm sure. You got that to
something to lock us down, and there'll be no more movies ever.
For a while. Well, no, because I was going to say all they're going to do is just remake the one, so they might as well just show the originals. Put different titles on it. The Matrix. The Matrix no, because they need to recredit the Matrix anyway because it's not done by the Wachowski brothers, is it?
Right. Yeah, I'm offended that it still exists. Have you ever? Have you guys ever?
The credits are just full of dead naming. God.
Have you guys went on Wikipedia and read the entries about? Oh God, what's his name there? Played in Juno, and
Elliot Page.
Yeah, Elliot Page. Have you read the way they twist themselves when we're talking about Elliot Page when he played in Juno as a pregnant girl?
Because that's actually the way you say that. That's actually kind of more offensive.
You owe it to yourself. But listen, you owe it to yourself to go read this.
I'm trying to figure. There's something about the glass ceiling in there. When men are taking over pregnancy, there's something about keeping women down that I think
men are even better at being women than women are apparently.
Well,
look, Elliot should have got an Oscar for playing a pregnant pregnant girl.
Well, let me ask you: if you talk about the wage gap, and you say, well, men make more money than women because of life choices, but that's neither here nor there. But if women are switching to men, are they now getting in that category, which means women are making even less money as it goes on? I mean, one way or the other, the women are getting screwed. That's all I can say.
Normally, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
I just want to know now if I can tell Elliot to shut up and stop mansplaining using his white male privilege. That's all I want.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, goodness. He posted a picture the other day on Instagram. Yeah. I think it was somewhere of a shirtless picture.
Yeah,
and it was kind of just, what world are we living in now? Down is up and up is down, and it's it's a funny old world. But yeah, like I said, I kind of want to watch Juno again now, just to see that.
I don't.
Listen to me. You owe it to yourselves to go read the Wikipedia on Elliot, though. It's unintentionally funnier than anything we could ever, joke about here. It's so funny.
It's the same as with Bruce Jenner becoming Caitlyn Jenner. And it's kind of, and then she won Woman of the Year, and like you say that men are so good at everything. They're even better women than men, better women than women.
As was it Caitlyn Jenner when she won the men's decathlon in 1976? What?
Well, we are really going off topic today.
Yeah, we better move on before we get in big trouble.
And we may get shut down. So, right, okay. So let's actually get on to our main topic of Christmas movies, because it is that time of year. In 2 weeks' time, it'll all be over. Kids will be disappointed with their presents. They'll all be broken. Some kids will still be trying to load up their PS5 as it downloads updates. And everybody will be rushing for the toilet after eating too much turkey and cranberry, and like I say, it'll all be over and done with.
My favorite are the little kids playing in all the boxes that the gifts came in. All the gifts are just tossed to the side. You're playing in the boxes.
And so let's talk about Christmas movies. Now, obviously, there's kind of 2 categories to this.
I think we need to define Christmas movies.
So
In my opinion, sir, and I'm going to take over, damn it. Christmas is about, the holidays, getting together with family, the birth of Jesus, the gift of giving, the warmth and feelings you get in your heart. It's not about grenades and bazookas, okay? I'm just saying, Christmas movies are about effing Christmas, not just happens to be at the time of Christmas. I don't know what's so difficult about this concept, but the idea that Die Hard is an effing Christmas movie is stupid. As well as every Shane Black movie and everything else, just because it happens to have a Christmas tree in the frame doesn't make it a goddamn Christmas movie.
No, but conversely, you see, the argument against that is that if it wasn't Christmas, he wouldn't have been trying to visit his wife. And so none of it would have happened.
He wasn't trying to visit his wife.
Hans Gruber would have got away with it.
He was trying to visit his wife to fix his damn marriage, and it could have been any holiday where he would have had time off from the police department to do this. It just happened to be Christmas.
Because no crime happens during Christmas, does it? So all the police can have
Usually,
time
no. It's very quiet.
Yeah. Even the
America,
criminals.
we don't need, nothing happens like
even
that.
the criminals sit down and put their feet up just for a few weeks. And,
That's
sort of.
right.
But, yeah, so there are movies that are based around Christmas. Like I said in the thing, like Elf or Arthur Christmas, that kind of thing. But then there are also movies which are just set at Christmas. So they just happen to take place at Christmas, like Home Alone or Die Hard. So can you count them both?
This is just the erasing of standards that's been happening in this country. This is why that's the Wachowski sisters now instead of the brothers and all that other stuff. It started with this debate right here.
I think the way I think of it is there's obvious Christmas movies, and then there's movies that are set during Christmas that you like to watch around Christmas, and that doesn't necessarily make them Christmas movies or Christmas themed movies, but they're set around that time, and I like to watch Die Hard around Christmas and Lethal Weapon.
See, a classic example of that, Sean, is on the BBC. They've always had a thing of showing movies over Christmas, as the TV always changes and stuff. And they always used to show either The Great Escape or The Sound of Music at Christmas or over the Christmas holidays. And so, again, I kind of consider those two movies Christmas movies because I would watch them at Christmas.
Yes, I remember you mentioning this. I'm saying, so to you Brits, Nazis are Christmas.
Escaping from the Nazis is Christmas.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Just
saying, there's a lot of Nazi imagery going around at Christmas time that I think you guys ought to take a look into.
I'd never thought of it that way.
Well, now you got something to think about. All right,
I'm
so
let's racist.
Let's. In any case, the Jews are getting it. So.
Yeah. Well, they're not, are they?
Yeah, they're.
Well, they own the movie. Never mind.
So,
easy there, Sean. Easy.
So why don't we break it up into two lists and say Christmas-themed movies versus all the other ones that are set around Christmas that are just really great movies, and even if you like to watch them at Christmas. So you want to start out with the themed ones first? Because I got a small list.
Okay, no, I haven't put together a list in my head, I must admit. But yeah, no, go crack on.
Okay, so for my list of just the ones that I can watch, and I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I got Home Alone, which, that's... I put that as a Christmas theme movie mostly because of the stuff that with the scary neighbor, and then getting him to see his son, and it's all holidays at Christmas, but it rides a line because those burglars, you could do that at any time, and they have. They've been terrible movies. It's a Wonderful Life, which I'd probably put at the top of all my Christmas lists. Miracle on 34th Street, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Scrooged, A Christmas Carol, circa 1951 with Alastair Sim. I think he was the best Scrooge. And my cheat here that I have to watch every year is A Charlie Brown Christmas, which is not a movie, but just works every single time for me. So I put it in there.
I think it fits in here. Yeah, it fits in here.
Yeah, it's not a movie. It's 20 minutes or whatever, but it's yes. I don't have to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, any of the Rankin Bass stop motion garbage, but I might put the original Grinch, the 30-minute Grinch, not the Jim Carrey abomination.
I've not even watched that. Even I've not even watched that.
Don't.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
The number one movie of the year 2000.
It was
Sadly
enough,
dark times indeed.
That was a wasteland for films from like 2000 to about 05 or something.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. It didn't end up. Well, there was a lot of hype, wasn't there? I mean, if you look at it, started with the Phantom Menace in '99. You had the 3 Lord of the Rings movies. You had the 3 Matrix movies. You had X-Men movies were coming out, the trilogy then, and you had the Spider-Man movies. So I mean, there was some good stuff in that time.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But it didn't
later. Yeah.
But yeah, year 2000 was bad. That was a bad time. That was a bad movie year. Yeah, other than Gladiator, I'd be hard pressed to find a really good movie. But we're getting off the subject again. Apologize.
So, yeah, no, that's okay. So, and out of that list, I can't say I have a specific Christmas movie that I sort of like go to as a sort of go-to movie, but one that you did mention, which I do love watching every year, is Scrooged.
Bill Murray,
which is weird because again, it's kind of obviously what's his name, Dickens wrote it as the Ghost of Christmas Past and everything else, but I don't really sort of see it as like a Christmas film because it's not really about Christmas as such. It's about just some mean old bugger who's going to die.
Well, you could say that about any of the Christmas Carol movies. I mean, that's not really but I mean, it's a Christmas movie. It certainly is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
it's just it's just
the end especially ties it up into.
Yeah. I think what's great about it is that it takes a very well-worn, much retold story of Scrooge and makes it its own thing to the point that it became its own classic. You got to give it credit for that.
Absolutely.
The best part of the movie is the commercial he puts together for the Christmas special. You know,
it's so
your life
scary. You're gonna die. Yeah.
A
lady had a heart attack.
I would love
watching
to see they made a full. They made that into its own little mini commercial for real. I would love to see that without like the intercut of him. I'd like to see them release that. It's just
they almost do that now, though. I mean, if you know what blows me away is the car commercials. They just because they always do these Christmas themed car commercials. It's like it's Christmas, and what goes best with Christmas? A Ford truck. They're blowing over, wrecking through snow. Take that, and then they put a big bow on the top of it. I'm like, what the hell am I watching here?
It is funny how some companies do try to sort of get that Christmas sparkle on whatever it is they're selling.
Whatever it is they're selling,
Yeah, and it's really sort of like I genuinely saw one the other day, and it was for I think it was like sunflower oil, and it's like Christmas isn't Christmas without sunflower oil. What? Who on planet Earth has ever said that?
Yeah.
Oh, Mummy, Daddy, Christmas. Did you get me a PlayStation 5? No, son, we've got you some sunflower oil. Yay!
And it's not Christmas until you have Hellman's mayonnaise. Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah. It is. Like I say, it does make me laugh the way they do try and sort of plug away. So yeah, that advert in Scrooge is kind of perfect.
It's fantastic. Sort of
I think it's one of the high points of the whole movie.
I think as well, what's very underrated in that movie is also Bobcat Goldthwait as the Porsche guy who gets. First of all, he gets fired, and then he loses his wife, and then he's sort of going to donate blood so he can get drink, and then the drink gets taken away from him and everything else. And I've always liked Bobcat Goldthwait. I always thought he was quite funny, but and then he gets Bill Murray sort of goes on his belly.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that was funny. Bill Murray going, just let him go. He's rolling.
There's a lot of good stuff in that movie. Yeah. Now, it's been a while since I've seen it, but now that I'm thinking of it, it's got some good stuff in it.
It's got some good stuff.
I also like the bit as well where Bill Murray does where those 3 drunkards think he's Richard Burton.
Yeah.
And they're going, do some of your Richard III. fossil fly, you fossil beautiful. And they're all like going, oh, wow.
And then they freeze to death.
That's right. Oh, it's horrifying.
Because it is. I mean, the actual comedy in it is really, really dark in places, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's quite horrendous.
Hey, I love. I think it's Carol Kane is the ghost of Christmas Past, who just basically spends the whole time just beating the shit out of Bill Murray, just punching him in the face,
smacking the shit out of him.
She hit me in the face.
Niagara Falls, Frankie. Niagara Falls. What is it? Buster Poindexter is that?
Yeah. See, again, that's another great moment where he's there as a kid, and he goes, there you go, Frankie kid, Merry Christmas. What is it? A choo-choo train? No, it's 4 pounds of veal. But I asked Santa for a choo-choo. Well, go out and get a job and buy a choo-choo.
Yeah. You know what veal costs these days? Come on.
It is. I like to say the dark humor in there is incredibly funny.
It's great.
And
it's awesome.
And like I say, you've got Bill just being Bill and just sort of having a good time, basically, which is not a bad thing.
Nope, not a bad thing at all. And then they completely just bust through the fourth wall in the credits, hit the whole theater. See, I see you in the back. Sing.
Okay, all the men.
Yeah, that almost ruins it.
I you know, it's probably because it's been done to death, the fourth wall bullshit. But at the time, it was fun. It was like kind of a new thing, you know, something didn't happen very often.
I think in the cinema it worked really well.
I didn't see it.
I
didn't see it in the theater. Did you, Yoda?
No,
I did not.
No.
I just wonder if anybody actually did, you know, was the dork that stood up and started clapping or whatever.
Oh yeah, those sad people.
Yeah, no, that was I didn't do that, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
I'm way too cool to do that.
Yeah, I was. I didn't go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight many times. So,
but with all that makeup, nobody recognized you.
I'll tell you one I did see in the theater, and I was probably one of the 35 people in this country that actually saw this movie in the theater. Was A Christmas Story.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I'm proud to say that one and Office Space and The Big Lebowski. Those are the three I could say I saw them in the theater. I knew they were great before they became great, you know. Can't say that about Shawshank, but, you know.
Christmas Story is my number one. When they show it on...
I'd put it up there, my number one, too, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen that.
You're really missing out on a
Communist.
great... disgusting tea drinking.
I can't even look at you right now.
All right.
I've lost our respect for your opinion on anything. How are we supposed to defeat you after this?
Christmas Story is it's told in when did it take place? Does it take place during World War II?
No, it takes place in the 30s.
Well, they talked about The Wizard of Oz, so it would have to be 39 or 40.
Yeah, it takes place in the 30s. I looked that up one time because I was like, wait a minute, they don't have TV. He's listening to radio. And
yeah.
When the hell is this supposed? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay.
But I mean, all the little vignettes in there, just every one of them worked. The casting was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Darren McGavin has that. He does impotent rage as well as anybody. And that night, my father wove a string of swears that still hangs over the Cleveland area this day. You know?
Tapestry of profanity.
Yes. A tapestry of profanity. He would go downstairs because the air conditioner, the heater busted, and you just hear him through all the vents and everything just wailing away. Now, they didn't actually swear in that, but it was just a lot of nonsense words. But you knew,
like Bugs Bunny, you know, swear, you know, that kind of.
I'm laughing too because I've seen it.
I can tell. We're trying to help you out here. We're trying to weave a tapestry of wonder for you here,
dude.
I'm definitely going to have to put it on the list.
I've been trying
to lay off the Christmas movies until like at least next week, because you know you can get oversaturate yourself with the whole Christmas thing, and so I've been sort of laying off them a little bit. But yes, I will definitely put that on my list then. A Christmas Story.
What's funny, so it came out in '83, so I'd have been 13 when it came out, because I think it did come out around Christmas time. And visited my grandparents at the time in Florida, and we went and saw it together. And I'd never seen my grandmother love, and she was alive obviously during that time. She had my mom by then, and so it just tickled her pink, because I think it resonated with her a lot more than you would expect of a modern movie, but it was told so well. Gene Shepard is the author, and I think there is a sequel to it with Charles Grodin.
Yeah, it's not as good though.
Yeah, it's not as good. It's all about the bumpuses and the damn, it was much more fun when you never saw the bumpuses, you just saw the dogs come in and wreck all their food.
It is a great, yeah. It's so good, man. I'm telling you, they play it on 20. They started on Christmas Eve night at 8 p.m. and then run it. No joke, they run it for 24 hours nonstop. and I tune the channel to that, and I watch it. I just leave it on, and it's that good.
It's a comfort movie.
I've even got it on Blu-ray. I like it that much.
Okay, I will definitely put it on the list.
I can't put my arms down.
It's not necessarily a kids movie either, so don't expect like Home Alone. It's about kids, but it's made for adults.
Yeah, it's not I wouldn't call it adult. Like, there's no crassness in it or anything like that. It's just not told immaturely or childishly.
Yeah,
it's not made for kids.
Right, not targeted. It's not targeted.
It's not targeted to kids, but certainly kids can watch it. Okay. It's made for the whole family. It literally is made for the whole family. Everybody can watch it and get something.
Yeah, hard to believe the guy that directed Porky's is the guy
That's true.
He's a good director. Let's look up some of his other films. Yeah. Oh my!
By the way, Porky's is a misunderstood masterpiece, but we can talk about that later.
Oh, it is a masterpiece. Absolutely.
Are you saying that right? Masterpiece?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Christmas Vacation.
I did watch Christmas Vacation this week, actually, which again is, it's just sort of Chevy Chase having fun. I did think that the writing, yeah, that's true. I did think that John Hughes' writing wasn't up to his usual standard. John Hughes has written films which is really sort of taken you on, I don't want to say like an emotional journey, but that really vested interest in the characters, like The Breakfast Club, or even to a point like
the vacation movies have never been about that, and yet there's still a little bit of heart in that. I love the first vacation movie because it had the R-rated edginess. That made it a lot of fun. The funniest moment, I never not laugh in the first vacation movie, is when the two girls, Jace's daughter Audrey and her cousin at Cousin Eddie's, and they're on the seesaw, and they're kind of one-upping each other, and Cousin Eddie's daughter says, "Well, I know how to French kiss," and she goes, "Yeah, everybody knows how to French kiss." And she goes, "Yeah, but my daddy says I'm the best." Wow. Can't do those jokes nowadays, can you?
No.
I really like the bit in Christmas Vacation where he puts the slick stuff on the sled.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic. And it goes,
and it's a bullet.
I think my favorite part is when he's so frustrated trying to get the lights work, and his wife goes in there and just flicks the switch, and then you see the power company meter just start spinning because he's using so much of it. I don't know why, but I've always that cracked me. That's when I actually saw in the theater too. Yeah, I don't know why, but that has always cracked me up because he gets so friggin' frustrated. It's great.
Yeah, it is. It's just one of those films that you can watch at any time and just have a laugh. But it's a wonderful film to sit down at the Christmas time with the family and well, on your own if you're inclined that way.
Yeah, it's
trying to get away from the family.
At least that one and the first one do a really good job of putting Chase in the middle of that bumbling father versus pretty competent, sharp-witted guy, like he straddles both lines. He's never like that they did make a Cousin Eddie vacation movie, which I'd never seen, but it was like Christmas Vacation 2. And Red
I was
Letter
going to say,
Media,
has anybody seen it?
Red Letter
I've never
Media
heard of that.
did, and they destroyed it. Then they sent it back to Warner Brothers, asking why they did this. But it's really bad because you can't make one about Cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie's too far out.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the middle. He's not too serious, but he's not too bumbling either. So he has his moments, and I think one of my favorite is when he's like when all the corporate suits are walking out. He's like, "Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss my ass, kiss his ass," and then finally he ends it up with "and Happy Hanukkah." It's just little moments like that are fantastic. So, but yeah, they do a lot of good. Set up the joke, pay it off. It all works, and it's got all that repeat value that somehow works. But it does have enough heart, like when he's. You're with him because he just wants to have a family Christmas like he did when he was a kid, and nothing's working out.
Yeah. I think the touching moments he has with his own dad a few times in that movie, I think really.
Yeah. And the little girl that just asks if Santa's there, and he tries to. I think it's Cousin Eddie's littlest one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. There is that moment. Yeah, that is quite sweet.
Yeah. I had my dad's brother was very much like Cousin Eddie, and he could even kind of look like him too. But every time I watch that movie, I always think of him.
I think it's funny that Randy Quaid has now become Cousin Eddie for the most part. He's gone completely around the bend. So
yeah, he's lost it.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Again,
oh
really? No, see, I love A Wonderful Life.
I don't
it's
like
fantastic.
it. It's okay, I guess. I don't know.
Now I'm calling you a communist.
Well,
there's something more Americana to me than It's a Wonderful Life. It is a Christmas movie, sure, but it's the most American Christmas movie in my opinion, or at least the best of what America should be. Like a guy who is successful. And maybe doesn't do exactly what he wants to do, but he's successful because he has the ability to build this business and take it over from his dad and everything to make everything else better because of that. And the small town America. I mean, all of that stuff just really works for me. And it feels like a Christmas Carol is a very British Christmas movie. Right, with Scrooge and all that, and not just because of the accents. I mean, the whole Victorian sensibility about it, and it's great. Yeah. I mean, I love it for that. But you take that idea, that template of let's make it as British as possible in the Victorian area. Let's make this as Americana as possible between the 1900s and 1940s. And make a good Christmas movie out of it, a Christmas story out of it. And I think that's what I love about it.
Yeah, like I say, I've always been a fan of It's a Wonderful Life. It is, I think it's always been an interesting concept as well of, what would have people's lives been like if you hadn't have been born. I think it's a good. It's kind of, it does make you sort of think to yourself, wow, everybody in my life would have been so much better off.
My goodness. That would have been your all-time backfire. It's like Mary's fine, she's rich as hell. And
the suicide rate,
yeah, all the houses are 10 times better than they were before. And it's like, oh shit.
Before it was a cry for help. Now I'm really going to go through with it.
Yeah. By the end of it, Clarence is like just tossing him over the bridge. Like, I'll be right behind you.
Right. No, wait, I haven't even got a chance. Oh, just go. Oh god.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live? This was back when Dana Carvey and John Lovitz and them were.
Somebody posted it on the Christmas movie quiz, and I started watching it, and I haven't finished it yet. But yes, I'm going to sit down and watch that.
It's basically the worst American. The worst things about America that you could put in a movie, which is basically tacking on a cheap, terrible ending that completely undermines the message of the movie. where they basically go in, they figure out it was Potter that took the money, and they go in and they murder him by beating him to death. while everybody in the back is singing "On Lang Syne," they're just whack whack for all acquaintance, whack whack whack.
See, again, just to mention this as well, I think in It's a Wonderful Life, Mr. Potter is one of the best bad guys in any movie. I mean, that guy is just pure evil.
Oh,
pure
he's
evil.
Terrible.
You know, he's an awful human being. And I always liked that they portrayed him in that way, that George is so nice and so likable and you want to be his friend. But then this Mr. Potter who's trying to bring him down. It was, like I say, if Mr. Potter had a gun, he would have gone on a rampage long ago.
I thought he was the hero of the movie. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I see this.
All these people getting free mortgages. How dare they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sean, I didn't know you were evil. It's kind of a surprise.
No, I'm only evil on my mother's side.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah, Potter was a hero. What the F? What else have we
what's
got
the deal with
here?
Darth? Why was everybody trying to kill Darth Vader, that poor guy? Right, so no, yeah, go on, carry on. What other ones are there?
Okay, so
Yoda?
I picked Home Alone. I don't know. Home Alone is. I remember seeing it in the theater way back when, and I was like going, and people were just laughing so hard watching this. And I was like to the point of like going, is there like some sort of gas coming in the theater that I'm immune to? What is going on here? I didn't understand why it was such a big deal. And I've come to kind of like it as time goes on. And I think I figured out why I enjoy it so much. And it's John Williams music. That's pretty much it. If without that music, that movie doesn't work.
Anytime I see it, all I can think about is all I really want to watch is that movie Angels with Dirty Wings.
Yeah,
Dirty Faces.
That's the movie.
Yeah. I put myself through the Home Sweet Home Alone, which is the new remake, which was just unbelievably terrible.
Thanks for taking one for the team, bud.
But in there, that Angels with Dirty Wings, in the movie themselves, they're watching this movie, but it's an updated version, which is kind of set in space or something, and one of the characters is a robot. And then it cuts to one of the characters watching the film going, oh, these remakes, they're never as good, are they? But which, you know, I'm sure they all sort of thought, oh, that's really funny. But everybody else is going, oh, God, it's not working. It really isn't.
The meta jokes don't work when it's not actually a joke. It's true.
Yeah. It was just embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. But no, for me, Home Alone, Home Alone, I think is a great little comedy. It's thoroughly enjoyable. I like all the characters and everything else in it. The slapstick, I've always been a fan of slapstick, and so, you know, people getting hit in paint cans in the face, hilarious.
Yeah, who doesn't like to watch people take damage to their head that would result in brain damage or death ordinarily?
How these guys aren't dead, I don't know, but I think as soon as the iron hit Daniel Stern in the face from 3 stories up, should have done it. But
there's actually, just to not go off on track a bit here, but this is quite awful. But back when Home Alone 2 came out, there was a scene in Home Alone 2 where Kevin threw bricks off a building at the 2 wet bandits, and they hit them in the face and stuff. There was a kid over here that was killed, and he, in real life this was, and he apparently had his head bashed in with bricks by other kids, and they kept blaming Chucky for it for some reason. They kept saying, it kept coming up saying Child's Play, you know, is a really violent film. I kept thinking, no. If anything's to blame for this, it's Home Alone 2, because the kids saw, you know, that you can throw bricks at people's heads and it's fine. And yeah, I was always a bit dismayed that Chucky got the blame for that. It should have been Kevin.
You know,
Chucky's such a masterpiece of cinema that it's unfairly maligned.
You know what's really the crime in all this is that they cut Donald Trump's scene out of Home Alone 2 on Disney.
Yeah.
What kind of cheap,
Orange Man bad.
Yeah. I mean, talk about cheap.
That's so petty, isn't it?
Oh,
idiot.
God.
Yeah.
Grow up. You wonder why people voted for Trump, you petty idiots.
So, Home Alone. I still think I think it's a good movie, and it's a good Christmas movie as well.
I think it's a Christmas movie too.
What are the other ones, Yoda?
The last two that I mentioned was A Christmas Carol, 1951. I think that's really just because Alistair Sim made Scrooge the kind of the template that all other people have tried to follow.
Yeah.
Including Jim Carrey, which the less said about that one, the better. And then finally, A Charlie Brown Christmas, which is just 25 minutes of just a warm blanket next to a fire for me. It's the equivalent of that. It's on every year and every year.
Burning the house down.
Yes. Yes, George. Yeah, it's a pyromaniac's Christmas.
Nothing makes me want to start a fire more than Charlie Brown.
Jesus Christ! I'm trying to actually have an
cleansing
emotional, a sincere moment here, and you had to just stick your knife into it.
No, it's just the way you said, a warm fire. I'm thinking
a warm blanket
by a fire?
next to a fire. Yes,
It's dangerous. It's obviously dangerous.
Look, just because you guys don't have fireplaces anymore, it's not my problem.
Hey, his dad got laid off from being a chimney sweep. That's not funny.
No. If we're in a perfect segue of talking about gremlins, my father died coming down a chimney. I'll have you know.
Well, it was tough being a chimney sweep. I mean, all those dance moves that you had to know, and they had to do it on top of a roof. I mean, Christ!
Everybody underneath with brooms going, "Shut up!"
Yeah.
Oh, that bloody singing again. Yes, Chimney, we know.
Yeah. Hey, Van Dyke, that ain't even close to a Cockney accent. Shut up.
Yeah, that was terribly insulting.
Okay, so those are Christmas movies. Now,
yeah, movies.
Do you guys have any to add to that as far as themed Christmas movies?
My list is more a little mix of both. So
well, we can get into the mix. I'm just, if you guys have anything to add to say, you cannot argue that this isn't a Christmas movie. Whereas the other ones you can argue whether or not they are. Those are the fun ones we'll talk about next.
There was the only other one that sprung to mind is because I did go through a whole list of them the other day, and the only other one that sprung to mind, which I don't think I've actually seen all the way through, is Arthur Christmas, which was the animation done by.
Yeah, I've heard that's Aardman. Good, and I think I watched it once, and I have no memory of it.
Again, it's kind of one of those things that I like Aardman, but the animation just put me off. Because the Aardman is Wallace and Gromit.
Was
the
it CG or was it the claymation? I thought
it was CG.
It was completely CG, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's... people say it's very good. It's gotten good reviews, but I don't see anybody putting it on their, hey, I watch this every Christmas list, you know?
Yes.
I don't think I think it's a fine movie that doesn't really have any staying power.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we come to, like I say, movies which are then not Christmas movies, but are set at Christmas. For example, one of my favorites, which I do genuinely love, A Nightmare Before Christmas. Because a lot of people say that's a Halloween movie, but it's also a Christmas movie because Jack Skellington wants to take over Christmas.
I would actually kind of agree with you on that one. There is it's a holiday movie. You can watch it both times, but it certainly has a lot of. I mean, he finds Christmas and finds all this love and joy, but he's incapable. I think my problem with I think my problem with it is that the message of the movie is stay in your lane, which I think is kind of awful.
If you're good at something, borrow ideas from somewhere else, but don't try and take it over.
Yeah, because if you try to do stuff that isn't what you are good at, you're going to suck. So don't try anything different.
And I do, like I say,
actually,
I do genuinely love it.
Failure.
Yeah, that's right.
People love that movie because I guess of all the weird animation, and it kept Hot Topic in business for a long time. But
I don't get that.
It's like a store in malls that cater to golfs.
Oh, right.
But like pop.
Oh, right, okay. No.
Now he's with us. No. Now he's with us.
I was going to say, just explaining it in that way. Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. It kept Spencer's GIF and Hot Topic in business for years. But it's not. It's kind. I don't know. I just kind of think it's kind of an awful movie because it's basically saying the message: you just stay with what you know and don't try anything new and don't try anything different because you'll fail. I'm like, oh god damn, that's kind of crap when you really think. Yeah, it's got great songs and everything and interesting animation, but Oh, boy,
Probably
it's
good
a
advice.
horrible message.
I think he learns his what I like about it is he learns his lesson that no, he can't do Christmas because it's not his thing. So he excels at something. So just excel at that one thing. I saw somebody the other day saying about how kids these days kind of when they graduate from one in over in the UK they do this when they graduate from one year to the next year everybody gets a little graduation and everybody's great at everything and it's kind of no, if some kids are good at maths let them be good at maths, that's okay, and if the sports kids are good at sports let them just go with that. Don't make everybody mediocre. Just if you are good at something be good at something.
Well, you know the way you explain that to me, that's an outside, like a third party, forcing people into certain things. But this was Jack Skellington wanting to do something different and being shut down by the third parties, and I think that's the difference. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, a kid is good at math, but maybe he wants to try something different. That's one thing. Forcing him to try something different when he doesn't really want to, that's another thing. And to me, it's all about choice, freedom. Wanting to try different things and being shot down is a lot different than saying we're going to force you into a box you don't fit in.
But then conversely, again, at the end of the movie, he thinks to himself, right, okay, I can't do Christmas, but what I have got is great ideas now for Halloween. So he's tried something, found he wasn't particularly very good at it, but it just helps him be a better Jack Skellington for next Halloween because, what he does excel at, he can improve on.
Yeah, it's a complex web of ideas here that we can go down
I never thought
a
I'd be
philosophical rat hole really quick.
You might be overthinking it just a hair here.
Yeah. I'm just trying to sort of think of the dumbest movie that we could then sort of deconstruct. Rise of Skywalker? I don't know. Let's not go there. So other movies that are set then around Christmas but aren't Christmas themed, like for example Die Hard, which is basically Die Hard is the adult version of Home Alone.
Not exactly, but
it kind of is.
Die Hard started its own genre, which was pretty impressive. Because
absolutely.
How many movies came out that were Die Hard on a blank, right? Speed is Die Hard on a bus.
Under Siege.
Under Siege is Die Hard 2. on a train. Under Siege 2 is Die Hard train. Under Siege Die Hard on a battleship.
He remembers the interesting thing here is the first Under Siege you think of is the sequel, not the original.
I don't even know why I said that. I honestly don't. I don't. I started to say that, and then you said, I don't know. I think Speed actually is Speed 2, Die Hard on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did a lot of these kinds of movies, and that's all Die Hard. Die Hard to build. Die Hard 2 was Die Hard in an airport, right?
Yeah.
And then Die Hard 3 was Die Hard in a city.
I was gonna say New York.
And then Die Hard 4 was Die Hard on the Eastern Seaboard. And Die Hard 5 was Die Hard in Russia and Asia. Next one's going to be Die Hard in a universe, It's like they keep, the thing that made Die Hard great was because they were trapped in this little place. But they keep growing the damn place. They got to stop
No. The next one's going to be, with the way Bruce Willis's movies have been going, it's just going to be Die Hard in an old folks' home.
Yeah. I'll
the
go.
doctors will be trying to.
Actually, that would probably be more fun than these Die Hard on Jupiter, which would be the next one.
Yeah, no, the first three are great. I don't know.
Like
You
know what? I don't like the third one. I do.
Really?
I do not like the third one at all. And I've got. And I've got I've got a whole thing about that probably this isn't the right time for it. And I'll tell you guys later. But there's, it's kind of out of place with the other ones. And I think it's a product of the politics of the time. And so just, think about it. Like all the action movies leading up to about then were heavy on the shoot 'em ups and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot, it's more of a thriller movie than any of the other ones. And around that time when Clinton was in office, you've seen a lot of stuff, like a lot of the traditional 80s action movies died out. A lot of the just hero goes in and just blazes away. We started to get stuff like Cliffhanger, which is a pretty good movie, and that.
Now you could say Die Hard was part of the reason of that.
Well,
Bruce Willis was not a prototypical action hero when he.
Well, I think
at that time
there's several things. Like even the Punisher comic book series. That's about the time sales plummeted, and eventually it got canceled in 94, 95. But there was a real big push against that sort of stuff. Anti-gun. That's when they passed the stupid assault weapons ban in 94, and I think a lot. So I think Die Hard 3 becomes sort of reflects that. Like a lot of the action movies at the time, very different from the last decade and even leading up to it. And I think that's why Die Hard 3 become this weird, basically just a series of car chases. And but anyway,
it's so weird because obviously I wasn't there in the time of the American politics and, like you say, the way the movies were being shaped. But for me, I would actually say the third one is kind of my favorite.
A lot of people think it. Yeah, a lot of people say that, but this is me personally talking.
Yeah.
But now that I mention it, don't you kind of see how that it is different? And that's probably good because it doesn't just repeat the formula. But
yeah,
now that I bring it to your attention, you're like, yeah, there was a lot of gunfights in the first two and stuff like that, and this one's very lacking in that.
I don't know if that was really.
Tension.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that was because of the politics. I think that story was already out there. So a lot of these Die Hard movies were adapted from stories that were already out there.
Yeah,
and they just put John McClane into the role of a. But this one with, they kind of shoehorned in the whole, he's his brother thing, Hans Gruber's brother, and all that stuff. But and it worked. I mean, it wasn't terrible or anything. It just that story was a different story than what the two Die Hards had been. Now, if you want to say it's not a very good because the first two Die Hard movies are truly Die Hard movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Die Hard 1 sets the template, and Die Hard 2 pretty much replicates it, but in an airport. But well enough that I enjoy it anyway. It has the same music. It has the same, you got Walter Peck in there being an asshole. You got all
maybe I like
stuff.
the third one because he shows quite a lot of New York, and I've never been there, and it just looks nice. It's like a little travel.
It wasn't very nice at that time, anyway.
And it's worse now.
Yeah.
So
funny enough, I'm just going to go on.
You've knocked me speechless here, George. I have nothing to say. Reply to that. You see Die Hard as a New York travel log. Okay, I got nothing now.
Central Park looks nice.
No,
take a taxi drive through there. Yeah,
that's all he got
for
out
the
of
mine.
it.
Look at all the space. When that guy's head went right off his body, it went on and on
George,
and on.
Have you ever heard of a movie called Taxi Driver? You'll love it.
Really shows off New York.
Really gives you the...
It's mostly set at night, though. You don't really get to see much of New York. I'm just going to go to the comments ever so quickly because Eggy Wags has been nicely chatting away to us. First of all, he says, Switch from The Matrix was supposed to be a man in the real world and a woman in thingy. Dumb and Dumber is an Xmas movie. Now, Kurt 52 said that. Now, I would say Dumb and Dumber is a Christmas movie because it features snow and Lloyd Christmas. Have you got a tumbleweed emotion?
Don't even. Move on.
No, it just happened to be I found a list of movies and Dumb and Dumber was on there, and I just thought, I haven't seen that for a long time. Arthur Christmas is a great fun movie, which I think I will need to try and sit down and watch. I'm sure I haven't, but on the website chats, Make Things Trump Again has actually deleted his Discuss account because NGL added Die Hard as a Christmas movie in the film quiz. Well, that's small mercy sorted out.
I may disagree with it, but just the fact that you got somebody to rage quit Discuss is fantastic.
That's pretty impressive, bro.
Yeah, I mean, goodness me, there's bigger things in the world to worry about than that. I told him not to forget Lethal Weapon. That it was, and he rented something now, and all his comments are gone. So, because Lethal Weapon is set around Christmas, isn't it?
It's a Shane Black movie. Of course.
It's the Shane Blackiest time of the year.
Now, I've heard this going around. What is the whole thing with Shane Black and Christmas?
He loves to set movies during Christmas.
Yeah.
He likes
Iron Man 3.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I think the only one he didn't set at Christmas was Predator.
Oh, it's just
He didn't write that though.
I was going to say
He did a lot of punch up of it, though. So I understand. He was a main writer, but Lethal Weapon he did. What was that one he did? The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and that was all at Christmas.
Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay.
I think I said Iron Man 3. That was all at Christmas, right? So I mean,
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a thing about it.
Which is,
I don't. Lethal Weapon.
He likes to see Christmas ruined by murder.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, he's obviously been through something in his life, and he's working it out. And here we are having a go at him.
He thought there was something in the chimney. It turned out it was his father.
He was a chimney sweep that got stuck.
And he was coming down pretending to be Santa Claus. It's ruined him ever since.
There's a very British comedy on over here called Good Life. I think in America it's called Good Neighbours, and it's a wonderful thing. There was a great British actor called Richard Bryars who was kind of big on sitcoms back in the sort of 70s and 80s. But there's a scene in their Christmas special, and his wife goes to him, right, so your red hat and beard under the stairs, and he goes, wait a minute, do you mean to say I dress up as Santa? And she goes, well, with what happened after last year, I hope it was you.
Oh, I love a great joke.
I don't think it was a rape joke, but
well, could be.
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't know we don't know how the conversation went after that. Let's just say.
Because, I mean, do you guys get a lot of, well, I suppose you do, because obviously I see them over here, but a lot of TV programs do their Christmas specials.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's as much of a thing as it used to be, because now the big shows are all about, they're all in streaming and they come out whenever. So, I mean, like, like Cobra Kai is going to come out at Christmas. Is it going to have a Christmas episode in it? Maybe, but, they put the whole season in, so probably not.
No. Do you know what? That would be great. Mr. Miyagi comes back as Santa Claus.
Oh, that's a great idea. Resurrected just like Jesus.
Wax the foie. I shouldn't do the accent, should I?
That was very offensive. Disavow.
But yeah, I mean, again, over here on British TV,
it's Zombie Miyagi. He wants our brains.
On the British TV over here, they do a lot of like the Christmas specials of things, and some of them do work out quite well, and they're quite good. I know I can't apologise enough for James Corden being on an American TV, but the British show that he was on over here called Gavin and Stacey, he was quite funny, and in one of the Christmas episodes there was brilliant. Was really, really good. But I think it's just like you say, because of streaming now, they don't kind of aim things for stuff like that. I suppose Book of Boba Fett might be a bit Christmassy.
The last Christmas, the last Christmas episode of anything on network TV that I remember seeing was 2 or 3 years ago, where the Rick and Morty had a Christmas episode special. That's the last, and even when it came, I was like, shit, they still do that.
Well, like I think like the Flash and some of these network shows, when they'll have a Thanksgiving and a Christmas episode, but it's mostly just like there's decorations in the background, so you can tell that time has passed. It's not really about the holiday. And that's about it.
It's too offensive.
In the past, like The Office
Christmas
and stuff
is offensive
like that,
here. I don't know if you know that, but saying like Merry Christmas and that's semi-offensive here now. So they don't even.
I always think of Krusty the Clown when he goes, "Welcome to our non-denominational holiday special."
Exactly. Happy holidays. That's the approved phrase now to not offend anybody.
My favourite one is, I think it's in Family Guy, where he goes, "I'm just going to set up a nativity scene of little baby Jesus and Father Joseph and Mother Josephine, Tig Notaro for some reason, the three non-binary wise people."
That was probably one of the best bits.
They're all vegetarians.
Yeah.
What else we got on the list? What do we got here? Oh, wait! I got to read this. Aggie Waggy says, my son just said the finale of Rocky V is set at Christmas too. Never realized this. That's because nobody actually watches Rocky V ever. Rocky IV, though, I believe, was set at Christmas.
Aggie Weggy, you are seriously going to need to have a word with your kid about that.
Yes, Rocky 5 is awful. Rocky 4, though, the Drago thing, that is set at Christmas.
Is
he
it?
fought them on Christmas, yeah. That's
just the snow in Russia,
Yeah, it was at Christmas. It was set at Christmas, but it was very in the background. They were spending too much time on montages to really establish that.
Okay, I'm just looking up a couple of other films here. So we've got set at Christmas. I mentioned already Gremlins, because that is, he gets Gizmo as a present, an early Christmas present, and that's all. And like I say, Phoebe Cates gives that awful story of her father.
Unfortunately, this is not the Phoebe Cates movie where we get to see her tits, though.
That's fast.
No, there are plenty of others, though. No, this is also Paradise. That I know that. That's a lucky guess, was it? I haven't looked anything like that up.
How come nobody calls Die Hard 2 a Christmas movie? Nobody fights for that one. It's just as much of a Christmas movie as Die Hard.
Yeah, it's very underplayed.
It's even got snow in it, for Christ's sake. The other one was in California. There was no snow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just saying.
Anything... Well, no, I was going to say I can't remember because I watched all three of the Die Hards. Obviously, I didn't watch the fourth and fifth one. But in the second one, there's nothing that you see Christmassy. In the first one, it's the office is all quite decorated up as Christmas.
They have Christmas trees. Yeah, those guys are coming with those. They have those gifts, which are really just camouflage for whatever evil shit they have in them, because they got them wrapped in the most hideous, terrible brown paper and black ribbons. It's like bizarre Christmas gifts to match their camouflage outfits, I guess. But
that's my best wrapping paper I use. Thank you very much. dirty brown paper and no string.
That's right. And and there is a lot of. I think there was a lot of Christmas in the airport. Like there was a tree here and there and stuff like that. But they make up for it with all the snow.
And the blood's red.
There you go. Blood red and white. Blood red on
well done,
white
Sean.
snow. That's Santa's colors, baby.
Well done, Sean. You've just found the world's most tenuous link.
I got an eye for these things.
The other movies I've got coming up here, Edward Scissorhands, because that's set around Christmas.
Is it?
Because she tells the story of how it snows at Christmas, and it's because Edward Scissorhands.
That's not a Christmas movie or a movie that anybody really wants to watch around Christmas.
I like Edward Scissorhands. I think with that Danny Elfman, that magical music that he puts in there, that fairy tale type music, and then when he's carving up the ice and there's so much snow and all that kind of stuff, and it does have some moments around Christmas.
And it's got Vincent Price in it.
He is in it.
Yeah, it's got
very Christmas.
So one of the things I saw in my research was how people like to. There's certain movies that people like to watch around Christmas for some reason. And the first Harry Potter was coming up a lot. Which one did you say? I'm sorry, I missed it.
The Great Escape.
Yeah,
Great Escape.
The Nazi movie.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Yes. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
There's that girl that wears that red and white dress like Sandy.
Yep, that's totally Christmas.
You're a sick fuck. You know that, Sean?
I do know that. I'm aware. I'm self-aware.
just mentioning it.
Our family tradition is to sit down and watch the Serbian movie at Christmas.
Yes.
I love the ending.
There's nothing says
no. We play a little. We play a little drinking game. Whenever anybody's murdered or anything's bad happened, you all have a swig.
That's right.
Hey,
we've got the new board game, Ethnic Cleanse.
Think about how close family is there at the end. It's got a great man.
Yeah, you mean when their blood all mixes together in the rainwater? Yeah, you can't get much closer than that.
I was going to go further with that, but I better not.
Moving swiftly on, one that I actually watched recently, which has only just come out and is on HBO Max at the moment, is 8-Bit Christmas with Neil Patrick Harris, and Steve Zahn.
I saw that pop up. Have you seen it?
I have, and do you know what? I was pleasantly surprised at what a fun little movie it was.
Somebody else recommended it to me, so with you and him now, I'm kind of intrigued enough to watch it. I think.
It's basically about Neil Patrick Harris. Why he always plays like a straight family man, or a woman's man, like he did in How I Met Your Mother. And in this, he's got a daughter, and she wants a phone. And he explains to her that when he was younger, he wanted a Nintendo, and he would do anything to get this Nintendo. And it's about a story about how him and his friends got a Nintendo. And it was, I found it quite amusing. Definitely a family movie, one for the kids and stuff. But I thought it was played out really, really well and very nicely at the end.
Is this on Netflix? What is it?
It's on Netflix.
HBO Max.
Oh, HBO Max? Is that what? Okay, my mistake. I honestly think Neil Patrick Harris is a closeted hetero. I think he needs to stop lying to himself.
He just pretends to be gay because it's a fast track in Hollywood.
It's good for the Hollywood, Yeah. He doesn't want to disappoint his friends and his coworkers, but I mean, come on, Neil. There's friends out there. Come on, we know it's all right.
We know what it's like to be straight.
That's right.
Every time I see Neil Patrick Harris, I always think of the comment. I think it was on a YouTube video where he won an award and he kisses his partner, and somebody in the comments, but no way, Neil Patrick Harris' girlfriend looks like a dude. And every time I see him, I just think of that comment because it was just golden. It was really good. Another one which is lovely to sit down with the family and watch around Christmas time, of course, is Black Christmas of 1974.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I watched that for the first.
That up.
I watched that for the first time this year, and I was quite shocked at that opening phone call of what the guy says down the phone, because it's pretty offensive. It's, he doesn't hold back on, and I was really sort of, I didn't expect it to get that bad. I thought it was just going to be a heavy breather.
Right out of the gate, we're going for it, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Better put on my seatbelt.
A very proto slasher movie from its time too.
Yeah.
Sort of
I remember one coming out a few years later, 82, 84. I'm not sure what it's called. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
It's on my list. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah,
Silent Night,
I saw that this year as well. I have seen that recently.
That is a very underappreciated classic.
I remember, and maybe you do too, Sean. I don't know if this really got over in the UK as much, but I remember that there were parents protesting. There was all kinds of controversy going on over this movie. It's just a dumb slasher movie, And, but boy.
What I took away from that movie, though, was at the end of it that he goes through this traumatic experience, and it was like really heavy. I mean, it didn't pull any punches. But then I found by the end of the movie, basically all those kids where he ends up killing somebody in front of the and I'm thinking, oh, great. So there's going to be about 30 sequels to this because all of those kids are going to grow up completely messed up.
Yeah, there are several sequels to it. Yeah.
Isn't the second one that
Garbage Day?
Garbage Day. Yeah,
that's it. It's actually a pretty good movie, and like they play it real well. Like you see this guy snap. He's under strain, and there, when it triggers him.
Yeah, it is.
And we get to see. Most importantly of all, we get to see Linnea Quigley topless in it again. That's the woman that they hangs up.
I'm sensing a trend with you, Sean.
That's right.
You look for in a movie.
We found his level.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like, well, what do you look for in a movie? Well, of course, tits, and then after that, plot, character, emotional involvement. But number one, tits.
That kind of reminds me of the.
There's a remake. There's a remake of it too called. I think it's called Silent Night.
Yeah.
But they just not that long ago, and it's pretty good too. It's a remake of it. The origin of the killer is a little different, but you get to see a woman shoved into a wood chipper.
So nice.
But it's worth watching. The remake is a legit.
There's that red again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's Santa.
I cannot believe there has not been a Christmas movie entitled "Blood on the Snow." It just seems like an obvious,
I did see one the other day. Actually, I was going through a list of stuff, and there was one called similar to that, but it was just about vampires and somebody in a cabin.
There's one called something like that too, and it's about Nazi zombies in Finland or something. What was it? I can't remember.
Really random. So staying on the same track that we're on, why don't we talk about
that's a manatee title if I ever heard one. You ever see the South Park where they come up with Family Guy jokes? It's just manatees taking balls with random words and sticking them in, and then they put it together. And that's a joke. So Nazi zombies in Finland, that's a manatee title.
Yeah, it's a legit. There's two of them. There's a sequel to it too.
Wow.
And then staying on the same track, again, going through the list I've got here, Krampus, which I found a thoroughly entertaining Christmas movie.
I have heard great things about that.
It's pretty good.
Keep meaning to see it, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The one in 2015, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Adam Scott and Toni Collette. It was. I mean, to be fair, Toni Collette is one of those people that if I see her name, I always sort of think, because it's kind of, she's probably going
to do a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, generally she picks good roles, and that was a very dark humor. Krampus. It was. Do you know what? I spoke to somebody recently who let their kid watch it, and the parents were disgusted, but the kids loved it.
On that sort of same tone, that Rare Exports is an excellent.
Yes, that is a very good one as well.
My review should be popping up any time on the website of that. But have you seen it, Yoda?
Nope.
Excellent movie.
Rare Exports. I don't think I've. It only sounds like tangentially familiar. I don't know much. Tell me about it.
I have seen it. I was going to say, yeah. Sean, give us just a sort of preview of it.
Yeah, so it's set in Finland, and these people are drilling on a giant mound, and it turns out that's the original real Santa's, entombed in it. And so all of these old men start showing up in the town and kidnapping children, and they all look sort of like Santa, but so it's really Santa's elves, and he's drawing them towards him now, and he wants to escape. And this group of reindeer ranchers and their kids have to stop. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's awesome.
It is. It's an incredibly dark comedy, black comedy. The way it's done.
I'll have to check it out. I think I've heard of it, like just kind of, in the ether, like somebody's mentioned it or something, but it's never been in front of me, and I've never tried it, so I'll give it a shot. I got to do that in Krampus. I've heard great things about Krampus, and I keep meaning to watch it, and I just never get around to it.
Fat Man is another one that just come out last year. That it is now. As soon as I saw it, I said every year, Mel Gibson plays Santa. It's great. Have you seen it, George?
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the dark. I love the dark comedy and just the sort of how Santa would feel living in this day and age of I've got to produce iPads now, and it's costing me a fortune, and the government's hitting me with tax and everything else. And I thought it was a very dark comedy, and the way it was played out was really well done.
Walt Goggins plays a hitman coming to kill him, and it's just
what's it called again?
Fat Man.
Sean, you did a review the other day, didn't you?
Here's my so these like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Krampus, and some of these horror movies I would submit are more, you could consider more of a Christmas movie than, say, a Die Hard.
I agree.
Bizarrely enough, because it may be an anti-Christmas movie, but still Christmas is kind of part of its theme in a way. Where Die Hard, it's just incidental, right? I think that's my issue with calling some of these movies Christmas movies. Like Harry Potter is supposedly a big Christmas movie now. Everybody's calling it a Christmas movie, or at least the first one, because they had Christmas in it for a minute.
What did you say? I didn't catch it.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh yeah, I don't see that at all. I don't.
They have Christmas gifts. Either. That's how he gets his invisibility cloak. They get Christmas presents, and they have a Christmas moment in it for like 5 seconds.
It just sounds like some Harry Potter nerds wanting an excuse to watch Harry Potter.
Sure. I don't disagree, but I'm just saying that's what.
You know what else is Christmassy? Star Wars.
They'd had a special, so.
Oh goodness me! Do you know what? Actually, funny enough, I picked up. I had an old computer at work, and it caught fire one day. But I got the hard drives out of it, and I plugged them in the other day to see what was on there. And I actually have the Christmas holiday special Star was on there, so I am going to sit down and treat myself to that. I will put all knives and forks away from myself and anything else that I could stab into my eyes and ears.
You are in for a treat, my friend.
I have seen it, but I just haven't seen it for a long time. But I just did think that was going to be quite amusing. Eggy Wags has just made a point on the site that he said one of my favourite Christmas scenes is Full Metal Jacket singing "Happy Birthday to Jesus." Which is kind of true. But then I was thinking, what's that movie that was recently done that was set over like 12 years by Richard Linklater, I think it was.
Oh, A Boy's Life.
Boyhood.
Yeah.
Boyhood.
That's it.
Boyhood.
And I'm
It
thinking,
took 12 years to make.
Yeah, that's had 12 Christmases in it, so that's technically a Christmas movie as well.
I was like, didn't we watch the Harry Potter kids grow up over the same amount of time? What's the big deal? And they made 7 movies, not just one. So shut up, Richard Linklater.
Right. Eggy Wags is just put Passion of the Christ is surely a Christmas movie. Well,
No,
not
that's an
really,
Easter
because
movie.
that's more of an
Easter
movie.
That's an Easter movie. Yeah.
And it's always
Texas Chainsaw Jesus, you mean?
Yeah. That's when the rabbit comes out and just pounds the nails into Jesus' wrists. It kind of explains that whole thing, you know.
There was a great there was a comedian on, and he sort of said he was talking about Jesus on the cross, and he sort of said, "My disciples, how have you chosen to commemorate this whole thing that goes on? We thought rabbits and chocolate."
That's right.
Oh, right. I'm gonna have to come back down because you guys haven't taken anything in of you. He did also mention that something that obviously
the best part of Easter is when Jesus, they put him in the tomb, right? And then 3 days later, they roll the stone back. And when Jesus comes out, if he sees his shadow, 6 more weeks of winter, baby.
Yeah.
So,
disavow.
One thing that Eggy Wags has just mentioned that you guys obviously don't go over there, but it's kind of a tradition over here. Is on Christmas Day at 3:00, the Queen does a speech, and there's the Queen's speech, and most people, it's only 10 minutes. Thank goodness. Do you know what? I have never ever watched it, but it's kind of have a Christmas
loyal
lunch.
British subject right here.
Whatever. What's she going to tell me that I don't? What she goes on about poverty while sitting in her palace with a golden piano behind her.
Yeah. We create a whole country because of that bullshit. So
is that even legal for you? Is it even legal for you to criticize the Queen like that? You better be careful.
Not on Twitter.
I don't know. No.
Okay, so I ran across this article. I want to throw this out here. So, it's from the Irish Post.
Right.
I don't know if that's it's just a website, but they did a poll of their readers, and they said, okay, what is the film series people would most want to watch over Christmas? Number 1 was Harry Potter. Number 2 was Toy Story. Number 3 was Shrek. 4 is Ice Age. 5 is Die Hard. 6 is Pirates of the Caribbean. 7 is Indiana Jones. 8 is James Bond. 9 Jurassic Park, and 10 Avengers. I would submit that there is maybe one series, possibly 2, that actually have anything to do with Christmas.
To do with Christmas, yeah.
Just what people want to watch over Christmas holidays. Yeah. I find that funny. They also said their favorite actual Christmas movies. 1 was Home Alone. 2 was Elf. I know this is heresy. I think I absolutely despise Elf.
I agree. I hate it too. It's stupid as shit.
I can't say I hate it. I can't stand Will Ferrell. He is rarely funny. I find him rarely funny. The only thing that works about that movie for me is the fact that it was done by Jon Favreau, and he is a good director. And there are scenes in there which are quite amusing, but it's not, for me, it's not like a great Christmas movie.
I can't stand that effing movie. I don't know why people like it. The Grinch is number 3, and I'm hoping that they're talking about the animated one from the 60s and not the one with Jim Carrey, but I have a feeling that's the one they're talking about. Number 4, Love Actually. God, I find that an overrated piece of
Who are these people, and how do we kill them?
I don't know. Number 5 is A Wonderful Life. The fact that It's a Wonderful Life is 3 notches down from Elf makes me want to murder everybody. Number 6 is Miracle on 34th Street. Number 7 is The Snowman. I have no idea. I don't know what that movie
That
is.
is that is a animated movie with absolutely no dialogue at all in it. You've seen it. You've seen it. The little boy, he goes to bed at night. The snowman comes alive, flies him around, and they go to the snowman.
Yoda's face.
Have you really? Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get the acid that you two have got.
No, I didn't. Not sure I want it now. It sounds like you got some bad stuff if that's all you're seeing. The Muppet. The great, let's go ahead.
We'll come back. No. Oh no, I was going to say with the snowman. It's played every year over here on the BBC. Yeah, it's only about 10-20 minutes long.
It's about half an hour. Yeah.
That was it. But there is a very, very famous song from it and everything else. It's quite cute. But my favourite story about that is the animation is beautiful. It's very simplistic animation. It's very, very well done. But the guy who directed it also directed a movie called When the Wind Blows, which is the same style of animation, but it's about two old people who succumb to radiation poisoning after a nuclear attack. And it's horrible.
I love to watch it on Christmas.
It's not horrible. I mean, it's a very well told story, but it's just horrendous to watch.
But I want you to know that Severin Films right now has a sale on a special edition Blu-ray of that movie that you can buy. Not that they're sponsoring us or anything, but it's listed under kids movie. I'm not joking, and I'm not talking about the snowman. I'm talking about
When the Wind Blows.
When the Wind Blows, yeah.
For all of you out there, mental health professionals are standing by in case you have any suicidal thoughts this holiday season. It's like watching
when the wind blows. It will push you just over the edge.
It's like the little matchstick girl. Disney actually animated that one, where the little girl is selling matchsticks.
Catches on fire.
No. She's like really, she's sitting on the street. It's cold. She's trying to sell matchsticks to people. Nobody will buy any matchsticks. She finally is lighting up a matchstick to stay warm. And basically by the end, she's frozen to death in the street. I'm like, God, Jesus Christ, what am I watching here? Oh, just kill me now. It's the most heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen in my life. And apparently this is a big song and a big deal about this little girl in, I don't know if it's in Russia or wherever it is, but she's trying to sell matchsticks and she just dies in the street. Nobody cares. I'm like going,
well, it makes sense. Who's going to buy a matchstick? Have you ever been like, well,
this is like, I just need a Victorian era, I guess. I don't know. Maybe matches were the brand new thing then. I don't know.
I think it was something, particularly in England, during those times that poor people could sell things like matchsticks and shoelaces and stuff like that because I think they could make them at home or something, so it was a cheap way of making money.
I don't know, but whatever happened, she just died. That's the end. It's this cute little girl. She dies on the street. Yeah,
this Christmas discussion has been the best thing ever.
It's just 10 minutes of her thawing on the sidewalk. You want dark? Let's go dark, buddy.
I'll tell you what is quite a funny movie. Oh, sorry, go on. Go finish that list.
Well, let me finish that list, and then there's one more that's shorter. Number 8 is A Muppet Christmas Carol. Number 9 is White Christmas, which I only saw just recently, but really good. And number 10 is The Santa Claus, one series that I've always disliked.
Is that the one with Tim Allen?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the idea of Santa being a fucking curse.
What was the movie that I think it was from the 80s, and I don't remember much of it, but they find the food that they feed to reindeers to make them fly, and they turn it into a candy and sell it for Christmas, and it's like a little red thing, and kids eat it and they can fly. You remember that?
No, I don't ring a bell.
Does that ring a bell with
Sophie's Choice?
Yeah, that was it. It was it was the one about
which one of the children should I keep? It was the flying one, obviously.
It was the one about that girl in the attic that the police kept trying to find, and they find her at the end, send her to a Polish camp.
Oh yeah, that was
Anne Frank, The Diary of Anne Frank. That's it.
No, that was Care Bears the movie.
Care Bears.
God, I'm sick. Christmas. The last list they had is Christmas movies we're most tired of seeing on TV.
Right.
Ironically, The Muppet Christmas Carol is number 1, which was also on the favorite Christmas movie list.
You can see how much people in Ireland hate themselves.
Yeah,
I love this movie. I've got to watch it, but I hate myself.
I found that bizarre that it ranked on both lists. Number 2 was Scrooged, which, obviously the alcohol is
People with
eating
no
in the
taste.
brain. Number 3 is Nightmare Before Christmas. I could kind of understand that. Number
No.
4 is Jack Frost. Now,
That's with
yeah, that's
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
But I think there are some horror movies called Jack Frost, which
There
have the
is.
same
Yes,
theme
there is. Yeah.
of an evil snowman that tries
Yep.
to kill
Yeah.
people.
much
Did you get
better
those-
than that's a better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Or
Michael,
fine.
the Michael Keaton one. And then number
It's the
5
reason I don't
is-
have- I was going to say it's the reason I don't have kids is because I'd make them sit down and watch the wrong one.
Number 5 is The Holiday, which I'm
Oh.
not familiar with.
I think it's
there's,
a cheap flick, ain't it?
It's Jude Law,
Yeah, that's
Jack Black, and what's she called? Kate Winslet and somebody else. And it's a not a
gun.
romantic comedy, but it's a chick flick. I don't think
So-
I've watched all of it.
So those are the most they're tired of seeing on TV. So I don't know. I thought it was amusing that one of the movies appeared on the most tired and favorite list.
And the most watched series are nothing to do with Christmas at all.
Oh, well, by the way, Trading Places, right? Christmas movie.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I
Yeah.
He
guess
dresses up as Santa Claus and then tries to kill himself.
yeah. What's more Christmas than that?
That's right. He's actually in the Santa outfit with a gun to his head. That's some dark shit right there.
Oh, why change the tone now?
Well, I think the funniest part about that, it goes click, and it doesn't work. So he throws the gun away, and you hear it go off. It's hit a cat or something.
Good thing Alec Baldwin wasn't on set.
Yeah.
Aggie Weggy's just put 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, that's a great comedy. Not so
Yeah.
much a Christmas movie, but it's a great comedy.
It's not as funny as the book. He's just said Aggie Weggs just said it was Cameron Diaz with the other lady in The Holiday.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz, that's right.
Because she's kind of slipped away to obscurity now.
Yeah,
Isn't
that
she?
She got
movie
old.
sounds completely unfamiliar to me.
It was because it was not a hit. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Put it this way: there's no helicopters exploding or vampires, so you didn't
Right.
enjoy it.
No ninjas or
no,
explosions.
it's got to be superheroes, not vampires. I don't
Yeah.
like the vampire movies. My tastes are a little higher than that. So.
Very
But
high.
no,
bracket.
I have not watched it. It's one of those movies that no. I'm going to have to be really bored and drunk to watch that.
Eggy Weggs has a lot of messes retracted here. I find that funny. He's apparently so embarrassed by what he's hearing and what thoughts we are bringing up in his head that he has to get rid of them. We're on to you, Eggs. We're on to you.
Just to go back briefly to the Queen, because he also said that he's never seen her because she's a lizard. It's like I say, it's a big family tradition over in the UK that you have your big Christmas lunch and everybody sits down and usually Dad makes you watch the Queen's speech. But like I say, I've just never watched her. I've got no interest in anything she's got to say. Do you have like the president give you an address or anything like
He
that
does
on Christmas
something, but
Day?
nobody- Yeah, I mean, they do something, but nobody cares.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they do that kind of thing, then I don't know. It's
Usually they do something like fly over to one of our many, forever wars and visit the troops or something,
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest speech is actually the interview that he does with whatever network scores it that year during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
So-
a bigger holiday than Christmas around here, sadly enough.
What I want to know is when is the Queen going to, die or whatever, and what's his name take over and be the king?
No, that's never going to happen.
He's going to die
the
before her.
Doctors have proved that the Queen was around when the dinosaurs were extinct, and she will live forever.
Wait! Did you say the Queen was around when the dinosaurs were extinct? I believe we're all around when the dinosaurs are extinct.
You know what I meant.
You don't have to sharpshoot the poor guy. He's already British.
I'm having so much
when they
fun
went
today.
extinct.
Yeah, he meant when. Yeah, she saw him die. Is what he's saying.
Somebody Eggy Works has just put there. Yeah, imagine Biden giving a Christmas message.
Hey, I'm here because we're having the thing. We're doing that. We do it every year. You know that.
The Christmas? No, sir. It's not called Christmas.
I need a nap.
Christmas anymore, sir. Well, we've certainly discussed Christmas movies and put a lot on people's lists.
Did we?
Most of them, you've got the joy of Christmas, but all the movies we've mentioned are going to bring you back down to reality.
Yes, yes. The awfulness of Christmas. Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks right here. This is the three Cranks, and
well, no, you see, I've never been a fan of Christmas because Christmas just encourages parents to lie to their children.
Oh, see, that's a real real pisser of an attitude.
Yeah, I don't need any encouragement to do that.
that's
I lie to them all year.
Yes, days of the year. Yeah,
that's right.
Christmas.
It's a good thing because nothing compares to walking there in the morning and you see all that stuff under the tree. That's a feeling.
I was always very pleased to see my dad's reaction because it was the same reaction as mine as what he'd bought me, which Mum had bought. Yes, son, I got you the Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom knew what to do at my days. Just open up a box of booze. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. He's done for the rest of the day.
I'm good. Yep. He's in a coma. He's full of Christmas cheer by the end of the night.
It doesn't get. It's not very much fun once you hit a certain age at all, is it?
No, it's just work.
It's not
when
fun.
you realize that your parents have been lying to you, it's kind of a downer after that.
Boy, somebody had a miserable childhood.
Say.
No, just saying.
Then I found out that it wasn't some magic person out there giving me.
Don't
all
get me
these
started
gifts.
on the tooth
It
fairy.
was my parents who loved me all this time. What a pisser!
Exactly. Yeah, but that's exactly the point, isn't it?
Turns out my parents did all this work and money to give me this wonderful thing. That sucks.
I do remember talking to a kid, and he was sort of saying and we were saying about toys and stuff. And he's going, "Oh, Mum and Dad bought me that. Santa bought me that," and I was thinking, I don't know if I want my kids to know that it was some fat stranger who gave them toys and not me, the loving parents who bloody well worked for it.
It's all a part of the magic of being a child. That you want to give them the magic for a little while until they become, bitter, depressed failures like us.
Until they grow up to be us.
Right.
Yeah, right.
It's the only time that they'll believe in any kind of wonder or optimism at all. And you want to take even that little bit away from them, George. I say you're a monster.
No, I say I'm a realist. Okay, kids need to learn from the start that life is a downer from the day you're born.
That we live in a cold, empty universe. Nobody's ever going to care.
That's right.
You're a skeleton-shaped.
One day you'll die.
So
everything.
So we're all agreed that we're glad that George did not procreate. Seems to be a net positive if I'm seeing this correctly.
Well,
my math
not
is
just
right.
that, but I mean, like I say, this whole thing about Christmas is supposed to be a nice time and everything else. And like I say, pretty much all the movies you've mentioned have got killing in them.
I know.
Home Alone, where apart from
Brown
Home
Christmas
Alone, where
is a
it's just
bloodbath.
maiming.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with maiming. Killing is wrong, remember, kids, but to maiming's okay.
That's right.
Okay, so next week then, because we're going to wrap up, I think. Next week we're going to
If
talk
we're
about.
still allowed to stream after this one.
It could be worse. Halloween encourages kids to knock on strangers' to houses for sweets. Jimmy Savile-tastic. You guys probably don't know Jimmy. Yeah, you guys know Jimmy Savile?
No, but we had the please, check everything in case there's razor blades in it, because that apparently was a huge thing sweeping the country that nobody actually has any evidence for.
Yeah, never really happened, but
well,
sure
I think. I was sorry to interrupt. I was just say. So next week, I think what we can talk about is maybe just what has been some of the highlights for this year of watching, either TV on streaming or movie wise. We could discuss that because I think it's going to be our either last or second to last stream for this year.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely have seen before the end of this year. I'll see the Matrix and Spider-Man, so I'm sure we could talk about that when those come out. And then I actually took up watching. I don't know why. Maybe because I was studying. I just wanted something in the background while I was doing it. But I decided to watch all of Star Wars, including Clone Wars and the movies and everything, in chronological order.
You psychopath.
Noted and agree. But I did find that I found a site that had them, all correct with Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And when you watch them in order, which some of it is really a mess. Why, watch this one from season 3, then season 1, then season 2, this episode, it's really bizarre. But when you do, it really helps. I mean, it's not that I dislike the show to begin with, but watching it correctly in chronological order has greatly improved that show for me, because there's characters that kind of bounce in and out, which when you put their stories together where they're supposed to be, get you more invested in some of these, especially the clones, where it's like there's all these different guys and they all got the same face and the same voice actors, so it's difficult to
Disney cutting down on actors again.
yeah. Now, to be fair, George Lucas set the template for that kind of cost cutting. Disney just made it awesome. But yeah, I found it to be as good a show or better than I remembered, and I hadn't watched it in a while, and I just had a hankering for some actual decent Star Wars. And with Boba Fett coming out, I don't know, I got to start listening to it on the side. So there you go.
I'm still the same again. I am going to watch Boba Fett, but my expectations are very, very low for it.
I'm not going to watch it.
I was reading, somebody said that they watched The Mandalorian on the site, and they went through it the second time and they liked it even more, and they weren't expecting that. So I feel like the stuff that Favreau and Filoni are doing, which Filoni started with the Clone Wars, I think everything he's done since then has been pretty good, and I think The Mandalorian was really good. So I'm optimistic about the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, guys, I just realized a bit of news that we should have talked about and didn't. Is that Netflix canceled the Cowboy Bebop already?
Yeah.
So I guess
got one episode in. I was like, nope, right out of it. It was so bad. I actually took the time and watched the original before it came out, and it's only one season.
Mistake.
Well, maybe, but it was a good. I like this show just fine. But it is.
I think Netflix would have done very well with the live action Cowboy Bebop if Cowboy Bebop didn't sort of wasn't an animation beforehand.
Maybe, but it is a classic example of why some things that are animated don't translate into live action.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work. And
is it that it doesn't translate, or is it just it's so classic that it you can't?
No, I don't think so, because I never really watched Cowboy Bebop. I watched it like a week before, so I didn't have any real emotional investment in it. I thought this would be a nice experiment, because I had never seen it. Watch it real quick, see what the original's like, and then see what this one's in. And I got one episode into the new one. I went, oh, man. I mean, even if I hadn't watched the original, I don't see how anybody can like this. It's just, because everything that about the first one, it's like, its skeleton, its remains are stapled up on the wall, but actual, none of it's actually correct.
I get the impression that with a lot of filmmakers these days, they are people who just have no idea about any of it. We've seen with like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau how they love Star Wars and they've managed to do something quite decent with it. Yeah, but then you've got other filmmakers that are making movies, and I'm sure I read somewhere, I can't remember who it was now, but it was like Star Trek or Star Wars or someone, and they said, I've never seen any of the movies, and yet they were the writer. And it's kind of, then why are you doing this? Get the fans in who understand it. And
I think you and I talked about this, but I look back on Nicholas Meyer, who did Wrath of Khan,
right,
which is probably still the best Star Trek movie. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I agree.
And he admitted he didn't know anything about Star Trek before he first came out, but he respected the idea of source material, and he took the time and he watched every single episode and the first movie before he began on this endeavor of helping write and figure out what the next movie is going to be. He had that respect. So I don't think it's necessarily I don't think it's necessarily a non-starter if you've never watched Star Trek or never watched the source material, that you can't be a part of the source material. But you do have to put the work and the effort into understanding the source material.
Yeah,
you said it yourself there, having the respect for it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is they get these people and they're like, oh, it'll be so, we'll subvert expectations. We'll get somebody. They think that
you don't know what the expectations are to subvert.
Yeah, but they want something like that. It's very antagonistic to the fans of the material. I don't.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you've never watched this stuff and you don't know what it's about, other than what you've seen, like if your entire understanding of Star Trek is watching parodies of it on Family Guy, then you don't understand Star Trek, right?
No.
And that's what it feels like. Like they're writing this stuff because of what they've seen in parodies or what they've seen in references in different in other medium, right? Not somebody who really understands the source material properly.
But I think, like you say, that having that respect is something which is gone, because people are, particularly in this day and age, we are still going through the whole thing that everything's got to be ethnically correct and PC correct, and women are going to be powerful and all this, and they're just trying to tick all these boxes, and they find people that tick all these boxes but just don't have that simple respect for the original material.
Yeah, and they're not very talented either.
No, they're not.
They're not
children.
talented.
No. They're children
can't even
wearing adult
off.
skin suits.
Yeah.
I liked I'm watching the Hawkeye, which I did watch the latest episode, and
Did you just call it the Hawkeye?
The Hawkeye show. The Hawkeye.
I've been watching the Hawkeye, which is very good.
Kids call it the Hawkeye.
I forgot the word at the end called show. The Hawkeye show. Sometimes words just skip my brain because I'm getting old and tired. No, I've been watching Hawkeye, and I like the character Kate Bishop in it a lot, because she's skilled, but she's not perfect. She struggles sometimes against people who are stronger than her, and she makes mistakes and admits she makes mistakes, and it makes it all more likable. It seems kind of simple, and they're making an engaging show because of it, and yet they don't do that anymore. They make Rey Skywalker, right? Or they make that terrible Charlie's Angels remake where, we 90-pound girls are flipping around 250-pound guys.
Yeah, it's the man is always a doofus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I watched? I can't remember who did the review of it, but I watched Cop Shop this week because I just came across it and thought I'd give it a go. And again, that was one of those movies that all I got from the end of that was the black female police woman was the best one. All the men were either killers or stupid. And again, it kind of it slapped me in the face so hard that's what they were going for.
I don't know, man. That there is some of that in it, but I don't think it's. See, that's the problem, is we're all so sensitive to picking up this sort of agenda that now.
Yeah. In a weird way, we are woke. We're just unwillingly so.
Right, but I don't think it was that bad. I mean, Gerard Butler.
I enjoyed it.
Was smarter than her, and I don't know. It could go. You could flip a coin on it, but I don't think it was as bad as that.
I'm putting that in quite a flippant way. I did enjoy it, and I thought it was quite well done. But it's just at the end of it, I just thought to myself, the black female protagonist is the savior of the day, and all.
Well, you knew that. I mean, as soon as she's on screen, it's like, oh, okay, I know how this is.
But all the men in it, I just found all the men in it were either dumb or bad. And because both the guys in jail were both bad, and then a couple of the other cops were just stupid, and one was being blackmailed, so he was a traitor. And that's just the impression I got from it, was what it was. But again, like I say, it's probably because I'm just hypersensitive, because it seems everything
there's some of that.
you watch.
I'm telling you guys.
I only say that because I've been accused of it myself. It's like, oh, you see the woke agenda and everything. Well, yeah, because they,
was in there.
Yeah.
It's all. Look, guys, it's all rich, well-off white women's fault. I'm telling you, all these rich, ungrateful douchebag, what Karen for short, and they have ruined all that stuff. And I put it. Reason why I'm kind of sensitive to this right now is because I don't know. I don't listen to any Taylor Swift, but my wife has been ear raping me with this new song that she has running every morning, where Taylor Swift has done a new video, and it's something about her relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal 10 years ago, and she's made a new video showing how bad. So Jake Gyllenhaal is now trending on Twitter because their 3-month relationship didn't work out because he wasn't perfect, and she didn't understand. Like, sometimes he liked to be with his friends and try to introduce her and all this stuff.
That bastard.
That horrible
What a
bastard.
horrible human being.
I'm telling you, I mean, and all these women just are like, oh, poor Taylor Swift. I'm like, the most ungrateful, disgusting people, and they've taken over most of our Kate bitch, what's her name? Catherine. What? I hate getting old. They're taking over Star Wars. Who's the woman?
Kennedy.
Kathy Kennedy. Thank you. She's emblematic of
I just needed my blood to boil right now.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, they've all just they're destroying this stuff because they're both self-involved, arrogant, narcissistic, talentless hacks.
Women, for sure.
Yes, women, Karens, whatever you want to call them, that don't have any real problems. So all they do is make up new ones constantly.
They got a virtue signal constantly to stay on the good graces of the mob. You know, you got to always be virtue signal.
Who's the mob made up of? More and more Karens.
Yeah, 25,000 people on Twitter.
It must be wonderful to go and sit and watch a movie. And like I say, my expectations for a movie are, sort of quite low sometimes. Other times I'm quite excited. But it must be strange to go into sit in a movie and go, right, how is this going to offend me?
Yeah.
I can't imagine being Jake Gyllenhaal waking up one morning, sees
finding out he got canceled over something he did 10 years
10 years ago. Because his relationship, because Taylor Swift is such a terrible person, apparently. I like going, God, geez, I just wanted some coffee.
Yeah, that's right. One morning he didn't put coffee in her sugar in her coffee, and that's why she's written this song now. And Jake has been cancelled.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, Nightcrawler's a perfect movie.
It is.
Absolutely.
You know what? I've talked about this. If you look at Nightcrawler, if this was an 80s comedy, all you have to do is turn the dial from creepy to funny, and it becomes just a standard 80s comedy, like a Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yeah.
Because he did some horrible things, but if it was a comedy, you'd say, oh, that guy, it's just funny stuff, right?
What's he like, eh?
Yeah. Oh, he hit that guy, and he got him sent to the hospital for it'd be like a Home Alone movie or something like that, but you just turn that dial to creepy. And it becomes but it's the exact same beats. I was shocked. I was like looking at this, like, this is an underdog made good.
Now you've ruined the movie for me. I'll never be able to watch it again without.
You turn that dial to comedy, and you realize this could be any 80s comedy movie, because there's some horrible shit that happens to people. Yeah, there's horrible shit, but because the tone is different, you just kind of laugh at it all, right?
Just change the soundtrack a little bit, tweak that to have like.
Yeah. Well, look at Christmas Vacation. His brother-in-law takes his boss hostage. And there's a whole SWAT team outside. Everybody should be in jail or dead, right? But because it's a comedy, it all kind of works out.
You could kind of remake that, and like I say, you could make it into quite a graphic
horror all you do is turn the dial,
thriller.
Turn the dial.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea for a movie. You got a guy that doesn't get his Christmas bonus. He's in debt. His brother-in-law is kind of been out of jail, goes and kidnaps you. Things go wrong. There's have to hide the body in the basement. I could see it coming.
Familiar. That sounds familiar, actually.
It's not your life story we're doing here. We're doing it.
No. He's not in my basement anymore. He's buried. What an idiot.
He has a big enough yard. He's fine.
Not that stupid.
Yeah. I'm not going to, feed him. That just costs money. Right. Anyway, shall on that wonderfully light note, shall we wrap up?
We got Eggy to call us bigots, so we've obviously gone too far somewhere.
I own that. I'm a bigot. What can I?
I've been called big idiot.
Well, that bigot's short for big idiot. So.
Oh, I think you've just stumbled on the etymology of that word. That's impressive, man.
Completely by
See, we like to educate.
Even a broken clock can be right twice a day.
That's right.
Anyway.
Well, guys, it's been 2 hours. I don't think we meant to go this long, but what the hell? I had a lot of fun. I always have fun with these. It's just a time to blow off some steam. But if you want to be a part of this, obviously we do this every Sunday at noon Central Time, 6 o'clock UK time. And during the rest of the week, you can visit us at lastmovieoutpost.com, where we have all the latest in streaming movies and TV shows that are coming your way. We are the cool news now. You can reach us at contact us at lastmovieoutpost.com. You can reach me at Drunken Yoda 1. You can reach not George Lucas there at not George Lucas 1. Both of us are on Twitter. Both of us have our DMs open, or at least I do. And you can tweet us also at Movie Outpost for the main site. We, of course, are on YouTube /Last Movie Outpost and on Facebook /Last Movie Outpost. I think I got everything there. What do you think, George?
What's our MySpace?
We discontinued MySpace.
Can't find me anywhere.
Yeah,
give it.
I don't have a.
Just think.
I checked.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
Sean,
checked, and they said there's no more space. So.
I'm just thinking, a few years' time, we'll be all meeting up in Meta in virtual worlds.
Yes.
Come and sit and listen to a conference of us, and sit nicely and throw virtual fruit at us.
Instead of sitting on my fat ass looking at you on the screen, I'll sit on my fat ass and look at you through goggles. Either way, I think the key word.
And I can look like
fat.
Phantom Tating.
It'll be just like the sex scene in Demolition Man.
Yeah, there's another movie that was not supposed to be a blueprint.
Yeah.
And yet, Eggy and everybody else that watched today, we do appreciate it. And please like, share, and subscribe. We could use all the subscribers. We're very close to 700 subscribers. So tell all your friends, get them to subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And
who wouldn't want to subscribe to us?
Apparently... All but 697 people.
That's not
bad.
My
mom.
Out of 7 billion, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That reminds me, I should probably subscribe to the YouTube channel myself. There.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Why would you? You don't want
I love being statistically insignificant. It's great.
Well, become a serial killer or something. You can bump up into.
Yeah, that'll push a lot of viewers, won't it? What? There were so many clues in these streams. We should have seen it coming.
Yeah, if anybody of importance, like a policeman, watches this, we are all in trouble.
we're on a list. For sure.
We're completely effed. All right, guys. So. Well, I appreciate it. We will talk at you next time. And remember, lastmovieoutpost.com.